Hey everyone, and welcome back to Nova Real Estate Solutions. I'm Dwight Morris, your certified divorce specialist with Innovation Properties right here in Fairfax, Virginia. My goal is to help individuals and families navigate the complexities of real estate during challenging life transitions, especially divorce. Today, I'm diving deep into a topic that causes a lot of confusion and often a lot of stress: navigating the home appraisal process during a divorce. When a marriage ends, one of the biggest assets, and often the most emotional one, is the family home. Deciding what to do with it, whether to sell it, or if one spouse will buy out the other, often hinges on its true market value. And that's where the appraisal comes in. But unlike a typical home sale appraisal, a divorce appraisal has its own unique nuances and pitfalls that both spouses need to be aware of. First, let's clarify why an appraisal is so crucial during a divorce. It's not just about a number. It's about fairness and legal compliance. The court, or your attorneys, need an impartial professional opinion of the home's value. This ensures an equitable division of assets. Without it, you're essentially guessing, which can lead to disputes and delays. If one spouse intends to keep the home, the appraisal provides the basis for calculating the buyout amount for the other spouse's equity share. The spouse keeping the home will likely need to refinance to remove the other spouse from the mortgage. Lenders require an appraisal to determine the loan amount. A professional appraisal provides documented evidence of value, which can be critical if there are disagreements down the line. It protects both parties. While the core process of an appraisal involves assessing a home's worth, there are some significant differences when it's done during a divorce. In a standard sale, the client is typically the buyer or seller. In a divorce, the appraiser's client is usually both parties or the court. Their loyalty is to an objective valuation, not to one spouse's desired outcome. In a typical sale, everyone cooperates. During a divorce, emotions can run high, leading to lack of cooperation from one or both parties regarding access, disclosing information, or even maintaining the property. This can complicate the appraiser's job. In divorce, there might be a need for a retrospective appraisal, meaning valuing the property as of a specific past date, like the date of separation or the date the divorce was filed. This requires a different approach from the appraiser. Each spouse might want the appraisal to lean a certain way: higher if they're selling, lower if they're buying out. This is why selecting a neutral, experienced appraiser is paramount. So how do you choose the right appraiser to evaluate your home? Remember, this might be the most critical step. You don't want just an appraiser. You need someone who understands the unique legal and emotional landscape of divorce. First and foremost, you need to seek an impartial appraiser. Ideally, both spouses agree on a single neutral appraiser. If not, the court may appoint one. Avoid each spouse hiring their own appraiser, as this often leads to conflicting values and more legal costs. Look for an appraiser with experience with divorce cases. Ask potential appraisers if they have experience with divorce valuations, retrospective appraisals, and if they're comfortable testifying in court if necessary. Check their credentials to ensure they are state certified and have a good reputation. Make sure they're licensed through the Virginia Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation. Whoever you choose, know that communication is key. Choose someone who can clearly explain their process and findings to both parties, even if emotions are strained. So what actually happens during an appraisal, especially in a divorce scenario? Let's walk through the typical steps. Usually, attorneys for both sides will agree on and jointly order the appraisal. The appraisal cost is often split between the parties. Then the appraiser will contact the occupants to schedule a time to visit the property. Both spouses should aim to be present during the inspection if possible. This ensures transparency and allows both to point out features or issues. If one spouse isn't living there, they should still try to attend or arrange for someone reliable to represent their interests. During the appraiser's property inspection, they will measure the home, take extensive photos, exterior and interior, note the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, assess the condition of the home, taking into account any updates, deferred maintenance, and quality of construction. They will examine the lot, landscaping, and any outbuildings, and take notes on any improvements or damages. After the physical inspection, the appraiser gathers data on comparable sales in your area. They look for recent sales of similar homes that have closed, usually within the last 6 months, and often within no more than a mile of your property. They'll adjust for differences in size, features, condition, and lot size. The appraiser also analyzes broader market trends. Is it a buyer's market or seller's market? How quickly are homes selling? Finally, the appraiser compiles all this information into a comprehensive report. This report will include their valuation, the comparable sales data, photos, a sketch of the home, and detailed notes on their observations and adjustments. This is where you can make a difference, even in a divorce situation. While you might not want to invest heavily in upgrades, you do want the appraiser to see the home in its best light and have all necessary information. A clean, clutter-free home makes a better impression. It signals that the home is well cared for. Fix any minor problems, such as leaky faucets, broken light fixtures, or missing outlet covers. These small things can suggest neglect and impact the perceived value. Compile a detailed list of any significant upgrades you've made, like a new heating and air conditioning system, a new roof, a kitchen remodel, bathroom updates, a newly finished basement, or new windows. Be sure to include the dates and costs if you have them. This helps the appraiser justify a higher value. Have someone knowledgeable about the home available during the inspection to answer the appraiser's questions about utilities, property lines, or any unique features. And while your decor is yours, an appraiser is looking at the bones and condition of the house itself. You don't need to depersonalize it, like for an open house, but ensure it's not overly distracting. And finally, make certain the landscaping is neat, weed the flower beds, and lay some fresh mulch. Curb appeal is as important for the appraiser as it will be for the prospective buyers. Unfortunately, I've seen situations where the appraisal process is made more difficult, often unintentionally, due to the divorce dynamic. Here are some pitfalls to avoid. Don't prevent the appraiser from accessing parts of the home or property. This will only lead to delays, potential court orders, and a less accurate valuation. Be transparent about any known issues with the home. The appraiser will likely find them, and hiding could raise questions about your credibility. Keep your disputes with your spouse separate from the appraisal process. The appraiser is a neutral third party and doesn't need to witness personal conflicts. Appraisers are professionals. Attempting to influence their valuation with emotional pleas or incomplete information is unethical and unproductive. Stick to factual information. And again, I urge you to fix all the small issues before the appraiser arrives. Letting the home fall into disrepair during the divorce process will negatively impact its value, ultimately hurting both parties. Once the appraisal report is complete, it will be sent to the attorneys and, usually, to both spouses. Review the report carefully. Does it accurately describe your home? Are the comparable sales truly comparable? If you have concerns or believe there's an error, discuss it with your attorney. They can then communicate with the appraiser for clarification or, if needed, challenge aspects of the report. This isn't about disputing the value because you don't like it, but about ensuring accuracy. The appraised value will then become a key figure in your divorce negotiations, whether you're working towards a buyout, an equalization payment, or preparing the home for sale on the open market. Navigating the home appraisal process during a divorce can feel overwhelming. But with the right information and a clear understanding of what to expect, you can ensure a fair and accurate valuation of your most significant asset. Remember, the goal is always a neutral assessment that serves the best interests of both parties in achieving an equitable resolution. If you're facing a divorce and need guidance on your real estate options in Fairfax, Loudoun, or Prince William counties, don't hesitate to reach out. As a certified divorce specialist with Innovation Properties, I'm here to provide knowledgeable, compassionate, and strategic advice. My contact information can be found in the video description. Now, if you found this video informative, please make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my future content on the nexus between real estate and divorce. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.